With a sign down at the crossroads and a little artificial snow blown across the pastures, it attracted families of skiers, and for 3 months a year transformed the mountain men into chairlift operators, snowmakers, snowcat drivers, and rescuers in a collective masquerade that he now took part in too. The other cook was a veteran. In a few days she taught him how to degrease kilos of sausage, stop the pasta from overcooking with cold water, stretch the oil in the deep fryer, and how stirring the polenta for hours was a waste of effort. You just let it simmer there on a low flame and it would cook by itself. Fausto liked being in the kitchen, but something else began to attract his attention. He had a small window through which he would pass the plates into the dining room and watch Silvia, the new waitress, take orders and serve the tables. Who knows where Babette had found her? She was not the kind of girl you would expect to find among the mountain men. Young, cheerful, with the air of a world traveler. The sight of her carrying polenta and sausages seemed a sign of the times, like the flowers blossoming out of season, or the wolves that were said to have returned to the woods. Between Christmas and Epiphany, they worked tirelessly, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they courted each other with her hanging orders for him on the corkboard, and him ringing the bell when the dishes were ready. They kidded each other. 2 plain pastas, the chef's special. Plain pasta is off the menu, he said. The dishes and skiers came and went with such speed that Fausto was there scouring the pots when he realized it was dark outside. Then he stopped for a moment. The mountains came back to his mind. He wondered if the wind had been blowing, or if it had snowed up above, and what the light had been like up there on the wide, sun-drenched plateaus above the tree line, and if the lakes now looked like slabs of ice or soft, snowy basins. At 1,800 meters, it was a strange beginning to the winter, with rain and snow, and in the morning, rain melting the overnight sleet. Then, one evening, after the holidays, with the floors damp and the dishes dried and stacked, he undid his cook's apron and came out for a drink. The bar at that hour slipped into a mode in which it quietly ran itself. Babette put on some music, left a bottle of grappa on the counter, and the snowcat operators came in to look for company between one pass over the slopes and the next, leveling the holes and bumps made by the skiers, hauling the pushed-down snow back up, and milling it where it was frozen to make it granular, up and down on their treads for long, dark hours. Silvia had a small room above the kitchen. Around 11 o'clock, from the bar, Fausto saw her come down with a towel around her head and drag a chair up to the wood stove to read a big book in the warmth. He was struck by the thought that she had just gotten out of the shower. In the meantime, he listened to the chatter of this snowcat driver they called Santorso, like the patron Saint Ursus of Aosta and the Grappa distillery. Santorso was talking to him about grouse hunting and the snow, about how the snow was late that year, the snow so precious for protecting the burrows from frost, and about the problems a winter without snow gave to partridge and black grouse. And Fausto liked learning so many things he didn't know, but he wouldn't even think of losing sight of his waitress. At one point, Silvia took the towel off her head and started combing her hair with her fingers, bringing it closer to the stove. Her hair was long, black, and straight, and there was a lot of intimacy in the way she combed it, until she felt she was being watched. She looked up from her book and smiled at him with her fingers in her hair. The grappa burned Fausto's throat like a boy's first drink. Shortly after, the snowcats returned to work, and Babette said good night to those two, reminded one or the other to put the croissants in the oven early in the morning, took the garbage bags away, and went home. She was happy to leave the keys, liquor, and music there, so her restaurant could encourage friendships even when she was gone. A little Paris commune amid the Norwegian ice. 2. The Lovers.